Yes, hello Anna.
Hi, Judy.
Welcome to the podcast and our honored guest. And now please uh, apologize me if I pronounce wrongly, Anastasiia Dehtiarova. Is it correct pronunciation of your
It's very
name?
close. It's very close. Yes, Anastasiia, Anna as well.
Anna.
My last name is a bit more complicated, Degtyaryova, but don't bother.
So thank you again for coming to this talk. I'm happy to have you here, and I have compiled a short written profile under this video for you. But if you introduce yourself to us, I would be very happy. Professionally, what do you do?
Of course, of course. Well, thank you for having me here. It's a great pleasure. I love speaking with people, and I love when these conversations are recorded so that we can share it with more people. I am a communication facilitator for sustainable leaders and for sustainable teams. I help green entrepreneurs to build their network, to work on their leadership skills, on their project management and team skills, as well as their marketing. This is my background. This is something I'm extremely passionate about. And this is what I just love doing as well for my own thing. So why not do it professionally too?
Thank you very much. Perfect. I will shuffle the questions a little bit if you don't mind. Today I will start with the future because I have witnessed some interesting online events that you are doing for green leaders. Can you invite us, please? And because these events are kind of interesting for me. Who is it for and what is it about?
I think I just had this, yesterday was the third event that I ran. That was supposed to be three events, so third week of the event. And I think I'm going to run more of them in the nearest future, maybe in a couple of weeks as well. I will start. The three events were focusing on the marketing, on project management, on leadership for green teams, for the businesses that are either, they have their own product in the sustainability sector, right? They have something green, something ecological, something recycled. They might have a solution, like a digital solution, like an app or a platform. They might be working on connecting the people together and the organizations together. So anyone who is in the sustainability sector might benefit from those events because they are exactly about all the different challenges that green entrepreneurs and green teams have. How do I grow my business? How do I, communicate better and efficiently with the team as the team grows? How can I be or stay or become a great leader that I am, right? Or how do I become a better leader? How do I establish a better leadership in the company? How do I delegate better? How do I have great people in my team to even work with? All of those things are the different challenges that the companies have is they validated the concept, right? Their product is basically interesting for the market, and they start growing maybe even really fast because people are hungry for these solutions. They really want to see businesses doing good for the planet, for the society, and they are willing to support the businesses. So once you validate this idea, what is the next step? How do you grow? Well, you need to get all the different things in place for you to actually grow the business. And it's completely different from, let's say you are a startup and you have this challenge of growing the revenue. Right now you have the team, you have maybe investors, you have all the different stakeholders and shareholders and all the different holders in place that it is really challenging. And also your role as a leader, if you're running a company, a team, has changed because you're not doing anymore all the different things. Like maybe you started doing social media and operations and sales and all of it together and stocking, all of that. And what do you do now? Now you need to manage the people. Now you need to promote the business. It's a completely different set of skills, and not everyone knows even what is the next step. So my goal and my role in it is to support green leaders to be sure and to be very confident in the next step that they need to take.
Perfect. Please, everybody who is interested in these events, write down under this video a question for Anna. She will be happy to send you the link to her event. And I'm interested myself. I cannot make it tomorrow, however, but I will make it in the future, because I'm sure that those are recurring future events, right?
Absolutely. Actually, the event that is happening tomorrow, which on the calendar timeline tomorrow is 9th of June. This is the group of mastermind that I'm starting to run. This is a closed group, not more than 6 to maximum 8, 10 people in it. Those are green leaders, people who are working on different challenges. They have different companies, they are in different locations, and they are still facing similar challenges like the ones I mentioned before. And this mastermind is all about voicing the challenge, working on it together, bringing together the solutions, contacts, experiences, thoughts, pieces of advice, then keeping each other accountable so we can actually solve these challenges, right? Did you manage to do it? Well, what kind of difficulties did you face in the process? How can we help you further? And all of that is also about skill building as leaders, as entrepreneurs, public speaking, personal branding, marketing, sales, project management. I want to bring also the guest speakers, even the speakers from completely different fields, just to, keep this creativity going and expand the mind and expand the mindsets on the opportunities available. And I'm starting tomorrow. It will be a bi-weekly mastermind. If you are interested, do let me know, because I am building this network. We need more people who are helping us work on it. There most likely will be several groups at this point, but tomorrow I have one.
Thank you. Perfect. I will definitely. Let's stay in the future a little bit more. Let's not go to the past yet, but I'm heading there soon. Tell me, any other plans for the future from your side?
Many, many plans. I want to make this grow, the mastermind, in terms of building this huge network. I really hope to embrace all the possible activities here. I want to build this business for the future of humanity, something that I can contribute with my skills too. And the next step for me would be to provide this kind of support also to NGOs and non-profit organizations. So at some point I would like to create a foundation that would collaborate with the company that I have, and basically provide the same kind of service, the same quality, the same approach, the same coaching, the same expertise to the companies, to the organizations that can't really, pay for it, or maybe they don't have the resources to pay in full. That would be the next step that I hope to maybe reach in the next couple of years. Another thing that I'm passionate about would be education. This is slightly parallel, but I just know how challenging it is to get out in the world after you've been taught by all the different systems, school and university, that are not always really adapted to the real world. And there were so many things that are there in for our kids, for the students, for us as grown-up people, that we need to still keep learning, right? All of the different things that we can do to actually have very useful skills. I want also eventually focus in that direction as well. And who knows, staying in the sustainability sector, I might even think at some point to create something of my own. I'm very open to that. Yeah.
Yes. This is interesting. Actually, I would like to come back to this a little bit later in our talk, the future trends of sustainability. That would be nice. If we have time, we can continue at the end of this talk a little bit more with that. But now I know that you have also written a book. Can you tell us a little bit more about that book?
This book is my pride and the honor to present it to the world. I have been working on my personal brand for a while now, and one thing that they advise you to do if you want to speak more is to write a book. So around a year ago, I thought, well, why not? Then what will I talk about? And I made a plan and I wrote things and everything was in place. place. It took some time. It was not easy. It took more time for me to prepare all the like legal stuff and the marketing stuff and accounting as well, then writing the book. But it was actually pretty fast still. And what I wanted to talk about was my own experience, because I thought, well, what else do I know so well that I can write a book about? My own stuff, the things that I struggled with and the ways I managed to overcome some of the challenges, or the processes that I created for myself, my own kind of project management to cope with some of the challenges that I had. Challenges including tax debt and being in a wrong relationship and dealing with divorce, moving to many countries one after another, and all the different things that it implies as you are an immigrant and you're all alone, and what kind of mental and personal, professional challenges that creates, being far away from the family. At that point, of course, it didn't happen yet, but also the systems that I talked about in the book have helped me massively cope with the situation in Ukraine, because I'm from Ukraine, and things that have been happening these months were really challenging for me on a personal level. And of course, it leaks into your professional life. Of course, it influences everything that you do. I felt really weak for several weeks, because I couldn't focus on the idea, well, I want to grow my business while I see my the city I grew up in being bombed. That was really intense, and it took me some time to get back on track, but I'm really happy that I had these strategies in place. So basically, this book is called Blissful, a guidebook for growing humans. Anyone who has ever dealt with any challenge could benefit from the book, and just me sharing my personal stories. And I am really open about all the different things that happened to me. And the feedback that I got after I published the book from the friend and people who bought it was really heartwarming, because just me being able to share the story like that, and me being able to say, well, yes, I do have a book, is already an amazing, experience for me.
Yes, thank you. Let's stay a little bit more in the past now. Is there anything else that you are grateful for, or proud or happy about, which you can mention or share from your past? Maybe some achievements?
Yes, absolutely. That's where you can start understanding that I am really active and I do many things. Here in Bulgaria, where I live now, I am co-running a project called Open Bulgaria, and we have been really blessed with our community. This is the largest community of internationals living here, with almost 50,000 people, and we are serving them with content, with videos, with events, with partners, services. We're building partnerships. Not only we are talking, and supporting the single, individuals, foreigners, or let's say Bulgarians who came back from abroad, but also organizations, connecting them together, building this ecosystem. And I've been really proud and happy to have that in my life for almost 3 years now, almost immediately as I moved here, because it taught me so much in terms of personal development, in terms of leadership. I had to learn how to be a leader really fast. It happened really in a very accelerated way. We launched the platform right after COVID hit, because we saw that our community needed information. There was no information in English. People didn't know what was going on. It was so messy. So we launched the website, and people were interested in that, and the team has grown really fast. I've managed to work with so many beautiful people, and it taught me amazing things about passion and building projects and building it together with volunteers and people that are dedicated to this challenge, and all the different skills that you have to learn as a leader, the things that you didn't know about that you had to do, and all the different mindsets, new things that you need to adopt. That has been one of the biggest points of my pride, I would say. And just, of course, all of the experience that I had in other countries when I lived in Belgium, in Italy, all of those professional, personal experience, all the great people I met have really shaped who I am in a major way.
You mentioned many countries, but which country did you really like when you traveled? Because I'm sure that you traveled a lot in your life, right?
Yes, I traveled a lot, even though it was pretty in the same spot. I traveled a lot in Europe. I still have to explore the rest of the world, and I hope to start doing it, soon enough, maybe by the end of this year, to have some really nice trip in a very interesting destination. It's tough for me to choose because I have lived in almost like 5 countries, I could say. And I visited almost all of Europe. I liked a lot some spots for some things. I love a lot the sea. I grew up in Mariupol in Ukraine, so we have the sea there. It's really important for me to be close to the sea. That's why Sofia now is a bit challenging because I cannot have that. I love living in Italy. Italy is a very special country. It has extremely rich and extremely old culture. People have been welcoming to me. I know that sometimes it's not that easy to find really great, like Italy is a great experience as a tourist, but as you live there and you don't speak the language, it's tough. I've been lucky enough that I speak the language well enough and I didn't make any problems to the people that needed to help me. And I had really great friends there as well. Belgium was nice too because it's so rich. It's in culture, so many internationals there. Every day there is something to do. The city is big. There's just a lot going on. But the weather was not something that I appreciated. It was gloomy and doomy all the time, raining almost all the time, or just like being cloudy and not very, fun. Even though this is the place where I had the best professional experiences and I grew professionally really very fast. Ukraine is, of course, the place where I'm from, and it has a lot of history, but of course, right now it is a big challenge to talk about it. And I also lived a bit in Russia. This is where some of my family is now. And again, it's another topic which has a lot of it. So I'm not sure this is the right spot for me to discuss it. But Bulgaria now has given me great relationships with people. I would say the best friendships on this scale with so many people I've had only here.
Mm-hmm. And the future? What is the country you want to visit like your dream country?
I actually want to visit all of the countries. So I really want to see all of them. And some of the countries on my bucket list in the nearest future would be just to visit, Asia, like Indonesia, Malaysia, Taiwan, Japan, really beautiful. India. I also want to visit Middle Eastern countries, Africa, Kenya. Want to see the giraffes in real life. South Africa, America, Latin America. Actually, like I it's hard for me to make this kind of list because I want to see everything. Just need to choose what is the next destination and just start, putting the flags down.
Nice. And who is listening to my podcast knows that now is coming question about hobbies and free time activities. Do you have time for that? Because I see that you are very busy with your work.
Yes, I do. There are 2 hobbies that I have apart from work and content and sleeping. I really try to prioritize my sleep as much as possible because I know how important it is for me to be in the right mental and physical state. But one big hobby that I love is just spending time with people. So for me, it is quality time with the people I love, my friends, my partner, my family when I can, because we live far away. So having calls with them and going on pretty rare travels is something that I cherish a lot. And traveling in general, if it can be considered as a hobby, because for me it's more like a lifestyle. I really feel it is important for my mental state. And the other one, which has been an extremely powerful, because I notice its effect on many things, on my confidence, on my presence, social presence, on my even public speaking skills or my performance skills, because I used to be a dancer before, and I'm not new to perform on the stage, but apart from the time when I did theater at the university, I never spoke really at the stage. So now for a bit over 2 years now, I've been doing improvisational theater here in Sofia. And it's also that there are other clubs and schools in other cities as well. It is an art form originated from the US. And it is amazing because it puts you in very challenging and very fun and ridiculous and stupid situations when you need to figure out what you're doing, what you're saying, because there is no script, there are no roles. You create everything on the spot. And it has been an enormous joy in my life to just be able to do that, to have fun with friends. I got to be really great friends with lots of the people, because, you know, doing something dumb with people and being vulnerable while you're doing that really creates a huge filter that, you know, brings only, in my opinion, really kind and generous and open people. And those are my kind of people. I really love being around people that are relaxed. They don't create, you know, drama around them. I had enough of that. And they really want to be just, you know, to have fun together, to be kind to each other without anything to request in return.
Thank you. Perfect. I like traveling and dancing too. And my last question is concerning a takeaway message for our audience. What would be one brief takeaway message that you would give to everybody?
One thing that I'm working on, and I probably didn't talk a lot about it, but if you see from the book or from my work, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Of course, I'll be happy to connect with everyone. That I'm now building my work around the idea that leaders, and I'm not talking about even the people that are running companies or organizations, anyone who is influenced in one way or another, people around them are leaders. Everyone is a leader in that sense. And for me, it is then important to understand, well, as a leader, what kind of influence am I making on the people? And if I'm making that influence, what kind of person would I like to be to really make a good influence, right? And then it brings this whole topic of personal development and working on yourself and trying to be better for not only for the others, of course, but for yourself too. Because the more you know yourself, the more you work on yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you feel confident about yourself. And confidence really brings so much goodness in our lives, because we can, you know, have boundaries, we can pursue something challenging, we can build something new, we can, you know, push through the fear and struggle and be present in the moment, just live the life in a full manner. And this is what I'm working on for myself and what I'm working on with the clients that I have and the future clients that I hope to meet one day, that we are working on this whole new way of not only, you know, not following the, you know, the usual paths, but living your own life to the fullest. That is my definition of success, right? My success is to be the most me possible, right? With all my challenges, with all my struggles, with all my success, with all the, you know, crazy experiences. That would be me, my life. And this is what I'm willing to really work hard for.
Anna Dehtiarova, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much, Jiri.
And here is the promised behind the scenes additional question
Uh-huh.
at the end of our interviews. It was really interesting when you talked about the sustainability trends. Do you see like international sustainability trends? What would they be according to your inner opinion for the future?
So I am not in the position to talk about like actual specific trends in terms of technology, biology, chemistry, all of that, because I'm learning it all myself right now as I am, getting into the space. I'm meeting all the people, and it's fascinating. It sounds like there is so much already available that we can use, that the governments can, just pour the investments in, because that technology has been proven to work. It just needs people to wake up and to work on that stuff, because geniuses that have known about this problem for decades now, they have figured out many amazing solutions. They just need the support now. They just need the support to implement those solutions and to test them, because they cost a lot. And we need this cycle, the growth cycle is all about supporting at the initial stage so it can get cheaper afterwards. That is one trend. This is something that is happening, and a lot of investment is going on in this field. Investors want to invest more. They invest from the companies that are not sustainable. And my personal opinion is that most, if not all, of the companies in the future will be sustainable, and they will have to implement certain sustainability guidelines, the certain operations in their manufacturing process, in their operations, even like turn off the lights in the rooms that you are not present, just turn it off. This is already being more sustainable. Or don't waste so much paper, become all digital. All of that really contributes bit by bit to being, more supportive towards the environment. And even if you are not building electric cars or, let's say, recycled clothes, you can still be sustainable in so many ways. Even just you as one freelancer, if you're just one person or a small collective, you can work on these things. There are so many things available. And also for me personally, as in my line of work, me working with leaders, this new way of running a business or organization in general needs a new way of leadership too. And this is where the entrepreneurs, business owners, freelancers as well, they have this opportunity to bring better leadership, to be better people, just be more human, humane as well. So this is where we're talking a lot about humble leadership and servant leadership, and being there for the team, working with the team, not, on top of the team, telling them what to do. This, just like businesses of 50 years ago, 100 years ago, this doesn't work anymore. So the businesses that were running in this way 50 years ago, they had really poor business plan and they had really poor business leadership, right? So why don't we change all of it? Like, why don't we see, if your business is already sustainable and innovative, why don't you also be a more open, more present, more human leader? Mm-hmm. And this is what I'm talking about in all of my work.
Thank you. Anna, do you have any question for me also, or not at this point?
I'm not sure. How did it go for you?
I liked it. It was great, and thank you for so much again for this talk. Thank you.
Sure. My pleasure. It's really nice. When do you think it will be out?
On the 20. Unfortunately, on the 20th of September. However, okay, you can publish it yourself from your site. You can publish it earlier. You can publish it immediately. I will send it just after we finish speaking.
Okay.
However, from my side, it will go on the 20th of September. And many people are asking me, why is there such a delay, almost 3 months? But this is because I have made 8 more. Yeah. And you as a fellow podcaster know that it shouldn't be published too frequently on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Yes. There should be some delay, for example, 10 days between each interview. So this is 8 more people coming, and then you.
you have a schedule. I understand. It's okay. Well,
so many people are asking me this.
Okay.
Thank you for that question, Anna.
Of course, you have a great process, great pipeline.
Yeah. And you mentioned one more question, maybe. You mentioned that you are a podcaster as well. How is it going? Are you starting now, or?
I have published on Monday my 12th episode.
Yes.
And nice. I'm interviewing the sustainable leaders, and also the there are some of the, so for example, I would publish the interviews with me as well, and also some of the standalone pieces where I am either talking about some parts of the personal development or leadership. This is where I also publish the recordings, the audio recordings of my master classes or workshops, not the mastermind that I'm running tomorrow, because it's like a private group. And yeah, basically, this is almost all I can give in terms of audio to the green leaders, green entrepreneurs. What can they work on as they're growing?
Yeah, I will definitely check your podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great. That's great.